What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with another Battlefield Gothic Armada 2 Skalgrim mod ship spotlight. This time we're going to be continuing to part 2 of the Imperial Navy and taking a look at the brand new Grand Cruiser, the Subjugator. Now this is a really interesting ship for a number of reasons, as it is an outlier from the general doctrine of the Imperial Navy that we've come to expect, and it's actually an outlier in many different ways. So we're gonna take a look at that. I mean, an easy comparison of first that we can make is to the other brand new ship, the Imperatoria Achille, and the Subjugator occupies the exact opposite end of the battlefield role spectrum that the Imperatoria Achille does. The Imperatoria is a close combat oriented tanky ship that goes in and hits hard when it gets there, but can also take hits. The Subjugator, complete opposite. It is fragile. It has an insane amount of long-range damage and is a, quintessential sort of sniper type of ship, as opposed to the quintessential brawler or close combat brawler that we have in the Imperatoria Achille. So that's pretty interesting. Both of these ships actually occupy a fairly simple battlefield role in the sense that they don't really require any finesse. You know exactly what both of these ships are doing. Now, the Subjugator, as I said, is an outlier in many ways. First of all, is an extremely expensive Grand Cruiser, 225 points. That is more expensive than several of the quote-unquote lower tier battleships, just like the Emperor or the Retribution or the Agamemnon. And when a Grand Cruiser is more expensive than a battleship, you gotta know that there's something up with it, i.e. there's gotta be a reason for that. And the reason is it's got some ridiculous weaponry and Omega artillery, making the Subjugator sort of the Imperial Navy's answer to the Adeptus Mechanicus's own Omega class, as well as a Hellfire beam on top of that. In combination, an Omega artillery and a Hellfire beam are pretty damn ridiculous. These things are meant to be your battleship killers, your Titan killers, killing targets that have a lot of HP and that you won't get a lot of overkill damage on. Otherwise, these ships would not be worth the cost. If you're wasting their shots on things like escorts and even light cruisers, you're probably gonna have a bad time. Otherwise, this also presents an outlier sort of loadout for this ship as compared to the other Grand Cruisers. The thing about Grand Cruisers in general is the fact that they don't have fancy stuff on the prow. They sacrifice being upgunned and having more HP for not carrying torpedoes, not carrying Nova cannons. As I said, none of the fancy active abilities. None of them have any of that. Of course, the Subjugator is different because it does have that Hellfire beam, and while the Omega artillery technically isn't an active weapon, it is nonetheless, in my opinion, one of the fancier weapons. So, yeah, either way, it still has the Hellfire beam, which is active. So very different in that regard. And once again, it is extremely expensive at 225 points, 2.25 times as expensive as the cheapest Grand Cruiser, the Avenger, which does have more health points than it does, and more armor at that. Although, being a close combat ship, that does make sense, but you can get a way more HP for the amount of hit points here. So once again, it locks this thing down in its fragility. You gotta protect it, you gotta keep it back. It is what, half again as expensive as the Banisher, essentially, right? It would be like 1.5 Banishers or something. That would be like 230. I can't really do the math in my head because I'm not good at math, but something around those parts. So yeah, this thing, if you're investing in it, you definitely have to protect it with the amount of HP. And once again, it is very similar in that respect to the Omegas of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are also fragile, hard-hitting snipers. That's pretty interesting. It does have the front armor actually buffed up in its prow, which makes sense because it wants to be facing front most of the time, firing those Omega beams and firing that Hellfire beam where possible. It is more armored thus in the front than the Vengeance or the Exorcist, but far less armored than the Banisher and the Avenger, which are 83, 75, 67, which makes sense because these two are the close combat brawlers which want to follow the Imperatoria into battle. So that is once again pretty interesting. It does also have the 13,500 identification range, which is once again an outlier, more than all the other Grand Cruisers are capable capable of. That's pretty obvious, and it does make sense. If this thing is relying on hitting enemies at long range, it wants to be able to know when they're nearby. It would be really unfortunate for a ship to be so fragile in terms of its hull points and not possess the identification range to go with that. Now let's take a look at it before we talk about anything else with regards to this ship. Alrighty, let's go Bastion. Why Bastion? No particular reason. I just like the highlights and the way that this looks. Plus, I went with several other options in the previous couple showcases. Now, I think I went to Armageddon last time for the Imperatoria. I like this ship. I like the way it looks because it looks like a sniper ship, doesn't it? This does not look like a ship that could take a ram. Like, it looks like it would come apart. It does look fragile, and it does look like a floating gun in space with this thing out front. It does sort of look different, but also sort of similar to the Omega that the Adeptus Mechanicus have, although obviously the Omega looks more like a railgun with sort of two extra hulls welded to the side like this, but still has an interior sort of gun portion like that. Yeah, in fact, the Omegas also possess this sort of a triangle, or whatever you want to call this shape, although that's a little bit closer to the rear portion of the ship. I actually like that. There's a similarity of design that you can see for both of these ships, and considering the similarity of their rolls, that does make sense. If that was on purpose, definite shout out for keeping similar designs for similar rolled ships. I really like that. Yeah, I really like the way this ship looks. I like this sort of flat surface up here as well. It's nice. It's nice. It doesn't look like it's supposed to go into close combat and take a beating, but once again, it does have those light macro battery weapons, which it can dish some damage out if, like escorts or light cruisers sail by it while it still focuses on the sniping thing that it's supposed to do, so they're certainly there to help. It is otherwise, is there anything important to talk about? 160 speed is reasonable. It's not super fast. It's not like well, it actually does match everybody but the Avenger. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good. And that is pretty good. It is a standard speed for cruisers, or not the Avenger, the Banisher. I remember the Banisher in the Imperatoria Aquila battle outrunning it, but I also want to mention that the Imperatoria Aquila is also 160 speed and is an absolutely massive battleship. So you don't expect this thing to really outrun anything, but at least it can keep pace with the rest of the fleet. Although it's not even supposed to. Let's talk about this thing a little bit in terms of its strengths and weaknesses, just really briefly before we get into a battle. Now, this thing clearly does need support. It does not have any carrier capacity, and it is extremely fragile. A set of bombers hitting it would rip it apart quite easily, and a set of smaller ships would also rip these apart. Like, if you took a fleet of nothing but these, like let's say 5 of these, I think, would fit in a fleet. The easiest way to destroy them, take the Tyranids, take the Orcs, get a bunch of light cruisers and a bunch of escorts, and now it's wasting a lot of its points overkilling, and you could just kill it by ramming it with brutes. You can kill it very easily by swarming it with a bunch of small ships. If instead you take one huge Titan against 5 of these ships, your Titan's going to be gone in a few seconds, and they're going to remain unharmed, with the possible exception of something like a Throne of the Silent King, which if you play it cleverly, you might still be able to avoid it, like jump immediately to their side, especially with the fact that the Annihilator beams and various Necron weapons can penetrate shield and go for that very weak hull. But yeah, I feel like in terms of how you want these things, you want to have a couple of them in your fleet to sort of counter enemy Titans and sort of that sort of thing, but you don't want to build a fleet around nothing but these, as that would be really, really dangerous, and there are a number of fleets you could run into in a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing, which would absolutely, destroy these things with pretty great ease. Otherwise, not much to talk about. We've discussed all of its values and its weaponry, Hellfire Beam and Omega Artillery. Man, the damage output is going to be insane. Yeah, and Lance starts adding to it. Alrighty. Let's head into a battlefield test. So I've made a fleet that has a little bit of support. I still wanted these ships to shine, so I am not going to go with like a fleet with a bunch of tanks and then a few of these guys supporting us, like Ideally, we'd probably want a few cheap Avengers or something like that up front to take the hits while these things obliterate the high-value targets, the Admirals, that sort of thing. But in this particular case, I think we'll do it like this. We got 4 Defiant light cruisers, which can provide a little bit of light lance artillery support, as well as those launch bays to hopefully protect these guys from bombers. That's the dream. Plus a bunch of Cobra Widowmakers. And the reason I wanted to go with so many escorts is simply because... I mean, we could remove a few more of these escorts and get some more Defiance, but I feel like these guys are needed to keep the subjugators firing. Every second that they're not able to fire and reload is obviously an issue, especially with the 25-second reload time on these Omega artillery. Anyway, let's save it. Let's get to the next part. Now, in terms of upgrades, I decided you want these ships at range, right? And if you have many of them, you're probably going to double up on the shield. It's not a crazy high shield capacity, but with the high armor up front and with the distance preventing you from getting wrecked by macros, you can benefit a lot from getting the extra 25 armor value to shields and increased shield regeneration speed. If you're, if you're stuck in a sort of sniping contest, in fact, maybe we can do a sniping contest by facing the Adeptus Mechanicus on purpose. Maybe even we'll face some enemy Omegas. Then the shields really do possess some pretty high value, as they're not being ripped apart by sort of shotgun ships. Otherwise, I don't think any of the upgrades are really all that great for it. I suppose you could go for an improved auger array. Would help them as well, especially if you bring a bunch of escorts like I did, but I think we've brought enough of them, especially with the auger probe, to make that not really necessary. Instead, I decided to go with a stasis bomb, which I feel like is pretty appropriate for this particular fleet. Anyway, subjugation, full of subjugator cruisers and support a little bit. Let's go. Let's fight the Drukhari. That might be interesting. That might be interesting. The Drukhari battle probably wouldn't be very cinematic, though, because you'd have to control it a lot. But you know what? Let's try one quick battle against the Drukhari, and then we'll do one sort of sniping contest against the Adeptus Mechanicus as well. I just feel like facing off against the Drukhari is going to be... it's going to require too much control. Oh, are we in a coordinate situation here? Oh, look at this damn beauty. Is this outside Drakasi? I think this is Drakasi. It looks too damn good to be anything else, doesn't it? Corn, you mad lad, like, what is this decoration here? Amazing. I just picture Korn just like sitting on his throne, picking out how he's going to decorate this place. Now, one other thing that I did need to mention about the subjugators is, of course, that if you aren't able to Actually, two things. If you aren't able to get a map, luckily, where you have asteroid fields, suddenly you're getting almost no value out of your Hellfire beams because they're probably not going to be close enough to the enemy fleet in order to gather charges for them, and therefore that is really, really hurting your damage output and your point investment, because a fairly big part of the point investment is presumably because of those powerful Hellfire beams. In addition to that, I do want to point out that the Grand Cruiser Subjugator does not have the Space Miners trait, so though it needs to go into asteroid fields to charge Hellfire beam shots, it actually takes damage from the same asteroid fields. I do wonder if that is on purpose and what the reasoning for that was. Not like it matters, to be honest. The damage from the asteroids is pretty negligible in this mod, or in vanilla as well, but in this mod in particular because of the increased HP and stuff like that. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to set you guys up to support the rest of the fleet. Obviously, these guys are going to have to hide, and yeah, we're going to have to watch them attack while hidden, which is a little bit on the annoying side, but what can you do? Alrighty, let's go. You guys are going to be group 2. We're going to make you group 3. You're going to go run silent. You guys are all going to go into lock-on. I do want to double check. Landsturts 18,000, Omega Artillery 18,000. Reload does not work on either of them, which we know, and lock-on does work on both of them. Okay, makes sense. So you basically want to stay in lock-on at all times, and that helps out with the light macro batteries if they ever are needed as well. All right, so you guys are gonna be group 1. You guys are gonna be group 3. No, you're gonna be group 2. Damn it. All right, like so. Let's get to it. Drukhari.
Ship ready.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more difficult matchups for these guys actually, because the once again, you have a lot of alpha tied up with specifically your extremely high damage stuff like your Omega Artillery. Once, if an Omega Artillery fails against the Hollow Field or anything like that, any of those sorts of factions, then that is 25 seconds where your ship has done almost nothing, right? And that's obviously a bad time for everybody. Or everybody on the fleet that has these things. So let's see whether the AI was smart enough to get a sort of swarming type of fleet. All right, you guys. Oh man, I was hoping that if you go hidden, the enemy fighters would stop coming, and they did. Lovely. All right. You guys, you also have Meltatorps and regular torps. You know what? Let's start launching some Meltatorps in their general direction because I feel that we're going to run out of escorts along. Did you guys just launch torps at each other? No, but close. We're going to run out of escorts long before we run out of torps and stuff here. And we also want to start setting up our auger probe. Let's set it up in here. Hopefully it'll just identify the area around this place, but not have any issues otherwise. And then we will go defensive fighters. All right, lovely. And let's send one of these guys forward.
Engaging engines.
All right, are we going to hit any enemies or are they all going to get shut down? Wow, I don't think any of the Meltatorps hit, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Some of the ships are getting destroyed already. You, move up. Oh, yeah, see, this is what I was talking about, wasting shots on escorts. And identify as many enemies as you can. Ooh, all of our escorts just got identified, but we identified some of them. Oh, and some of the Meltatorps did hit. Let's see, there's an enemy admiral here. Hit it with regular torps if you can. There we go. Alright, one of the benefits of having escorts is that the enemy is... Ooh, you know what? You guys are gonna go auto-engagement mode. There we go. So they can turn and do their own thing. You guys do the same thing, auto-engagement. Lovely. Imperial Escort destroyed? Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Wait, what the hell? I just realized the Defiant Light Cruiser is set to broadsides. Why would you be set to broadsides? You only have light lance... You have lance turrets. Oh, well, maybe broadsides would be fine. Huh, yeah, it actually doesn't matter. They're turrets, so they can fire anywhere. Okay, fair enough. For a second, I confused the Defiant with the Defender, which is the Lance Artillery Cruiser. Now, did we hit any of our torps at you? I don't know, but the enemy are wasting all their time on escorts, which against the player would obviously not fly, but once again, fairly useful against the AI. And we still have our Stasis Bomb available, not really getting much value out of our... whatchamacallits. You identify, please. Out of our Hellfire beams, yet. The enemy ships are relatively unharmed, and we are actually not doing damage to them because we're too far away. You know what we'll do? We're gonna move all of our escorts away a little bit. Get the enemy approaching us so that we can, you know, start annoying them. Oh no, somebody got destroyed over there. Alright, you guys get the hell out of here. And switch to brace, and then run. Draw the enemy in, essentially, and then get ready to turn around. Let's get another auger probe set up right about here, as the enemy should start approaching us now. This is somewhat reminding me of multiplayer matchups where Eldari players do tend to try to hunt all of your escorts down first before doing anything else, but the AI, it's not doing this in a good way, i.e. it's going to get wrecked because it's doing this. And oh look. Call to, oh damn it, I didn't mean to hit call to arms, I meant to identify the enemy. There we go. And we're gonna hit him with, well you're dead, but gonna hit him with a stasis bomb on this ship. Number one target, you're stuck now, buddy. You are stuck. And can we hit you with a Hellfire beam? I can't quite tell if it's in range. Oh, it is. That's amazing because you're now dead. You are now dead, friendo. One Hellfire beam should finish you off. And yeah, look at that. Just the Hellfire beam alone. And that's just one Hellfire beam alone. That is so much damage value. You, my friend, just went into a stasis field, didn't you? You're lucky because you're out of range of us.
Ship ready.
You know what we could try, though? Well, actually, you're gonna get killed by those artillery. And they're launching fighters of their own. Okay. Okay, well, they can't even do anything. This poor fleet. I did warn you guys that this battle would probably not be very cinematic. Are they gonna stasis bomb us over there? No, they hit us with a disruption bomb, it looks like. Actually, I don't know what the hell that was. Nothing appears to have happened. Wasn't paying that much attention. There goes the Admiral, and then there looks about to be... Did the ship just blow up back here? Alright, the Drukhari were not nearly as difficult as I thought they would be in this particular case. I thought they would go up close, get a bunch of boarders going, and send their strike craft and stuff, but once again, because of the way we have to stay hidden, this does not really bode so well for them. Are you trying to run away from these ships? That's cute, that's cute. Let's send out an auger probe out here. One more ship to go. Yeah, we'll try this again against the Adeptus Mechanicus, who hopefully will move in and try to shoot back against us. You guys hide. Make them all come to you. If they can't see you... There we go.
Enemy sighted.
Ships die when they are killed. And... Can we send fighters, or will these fighters in us? Ah, well, you're still hidden, aren't you? Well, just one more enemy ship remaining, hit it with a completely necessary stasis bomb, and it looks like it routed. Oh man, but look at the frickin' system. The system is distracting from the ship. Stop it. Stop it, Khorne. Khorne just wants all the attention. That is so like him. Alrighty, a battle report. 5 minutes for that? Well, yeah, they did stay back. Alright, I want to try it against the... Oh, damn it, I unselected the... My bad. Alright, Imperial Navy, Bastion, shields, Auger Probe, Stasis Bomb, Skirmish, Subjugation, and Launch. And it wants to go us against the Imperial Navy. We could try the most difficult matchup, which would be the Tyranids. But once again, I feel like it wouldn't be too cinematic, although... I just want to exchange long-range fire, although I thought that the same thing would occur here. You know what? Let's try the Tyranids. I feel like this would be much, much more difficult. Yeah, especially with them powered up in this particular mod, due to various reasons. Sorry, Adeptus Mechanicus, no Omega on Subjugator action. Maybe I'll try that out in Skirmish or something like that. Let's just see how we fare against the Tyranids, which is, I guess, going to be the worst possible matchup for us, especially if we can't find the enemy Admiral. And this is what it's going to rely on. Ooh, wow, okay, the game is just looking beautiful today. What the hell? Everything looks cool. We got our, presumably an orbital shipyard over here. We had the Khorne place. It's all coming together. Man. Amazing. Now here, okay, game just screwed us over. We have no asteroid fields, which means we cannot rely on our Hellfire beams against the Tyranids, and these ships can't kite. Oh man. Okay, we could try a maneuver where we sort of run to here. I don't expect this will work though. Oh man. Oh well. Hey, you can't expect to have everything go your way, but I did want the Hellfire beams in there for this to be a showcase. Oh well, what can you do? Let's see how these guys handle themselves without a Hellfire beam. I do expect a loss in this, thus. All right, everybody lock on, please. You guys, you're all gonna go forward and distract the Tyranids as long as you damn well can. Like... Okay, they're not doing what I want them to do. Just do this. Just do this and then rearrange yourselves. Alright, group 3, group 2... No, maybe all of you group 1. Separate groups. Maybe we'll send the light cruisers forward to distract the Tyranids also afterwards. Alright, I'm reasonably happy with this, although not all that happy. Let us go into run silent for you. Ready up. Immediate auger probe. Alright, I see 3 hive ships on the enemy fleet. They're about 200 points each, a little more depending on the type of hive ship it is. So that means that is half their fleet right there. And that is certainly something we can try to focus down with our Omega artillery. We just have to remember that without the Hellfire beams, like each Hellfire beam would kill a hive ship, or at least so badly cripple a hive ship that we could easily finish it off. So it is really unfortunate once again that we don't have that here. Already support launch. Go, go, go. Let's see if we can, well, stave off the inevitable for more than a few seconds. Alright, enemy gargoyles coming in. Decent amount of that, but I don't think that's enough to signify a carrier hive ship. I don't remember how many launches the carrier hive ship is, but I'm pretty sure it's not 4. I'm pretty sure there's a battle cruiser with 4 for the Tyranids. Oh, and they rammed into each other. Okay, there's a freaking Hardened Clutch Devourer battle cruiser. I love using the Hardened Clutch Devourers as flagships for the Tyranids instead of hive ships. At least when you're starved for points. Alrighty. Aha, the enemy admiral, number 1 target. At least we've identified it. Let's number 1 target you. You guys, launch like this. It'll move through this, and then, well, try this at first.
Bulkhead failing.
Yeah, bulkhead's failing. Oh, hello, we just found ourselves a hive ship. Alright, we need to keep the enemy away from us. Let's do this. I don't care how many of these escorts die, as long as they distract them for a few seconds. Okay, oh, they're all basically dead already. This is not gonna go well. Alright, here's what we do. Light cruisers, you're all going to need to go forward. You're gonna need to brace. And what can we do here? They have enemy gargoyles supporting them. I was about to say launch fighters, but you know what? Since you're gonna die anyway, launch fighters to defend us. Don't bother launching bombers. And then you try to run this way. Let's see if the enemy fleet follows you. You guys keep firing. I forgot to set you to auto engagement, so you auto target. Number 1 target or number 2 target. That's not gonna help. We need to kill that admiral. We really need to kill that admiral. Okay, you know what? Maybe we risk it. Maybe we go past the fleet, drive our other ships away, and try to go for the admiral. Go, light cruisers. See how long you can survive this for. The enemy is distracted by it. All right. Ooh, yeah, we can't really afford to get rammed either. Go, go, go. Keep defending. Can you hit that enemy ship? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, well, one of the Omega artilleries is firing. You are gonna get rammed. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. At least you're about dead. Let's go, 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 go. All right, I can see. Oh my lord, this poor ship. And 5 seconds until another stasis bomb. This hive ship is not actually having a very good day either. Stasis bomb right there. You know what? Briefly, you two switch to reload. While you're driving by this, might be able to do a decent amount of damage. You target this, target this, target this. Come on. Hit it with a single shot of Hellfire Beam. You are probably gonna get wrecked here, unless the ship dies soon. Look, this ship hasn't even been able to move. The adrenal glands from this damn battleship Hardened Clutch Devourer. I did warn you guys that this was a worrisome ship, and yeah, we're taking a ton of damage here. Come on, come on, come on, kill that admiral. Oh, I actually turned out to love this battle. I want to slow it down because I wanted to watch this. I fear that we won't be able to do anything about this, but whatever, it is what it is. Can you hit this without clipping your own ship? Yes, you can. All right, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Kill it. It's so close. All right, you go over here. You guys, number 1 target this. All right, let's see if you blow up. One more hit we need. All of our light cruisers, I believe, are dead. There's a drifting Hulk out there somewhere, but it's too far to do anything. Oh, wow, yeah. Everything got critted out. 100% crits on weapons. We just need one more hit.
Your orders?
One more hit. You guys need to move.
Changing course.
Come on, somebody. It'll actually burn to death, won't it? You know what? Let's speed it back up and let's move over here. I'll leave this. Oh, you got drawn back. Okay, come on, come on. Yeah, you're dead, I fear. Actually, I know you're dead. Everybody, go, go, go. Out here. We need to get away and try to turn. The enemy are going to go feral if we can do enough damage. Okay, you burned out your gauge, now turn. Fast as you can. Oh, you keep getting drawn back by those tentacles. Board this enemy.
Underway.
And then I guess...
Targeting.
Actually, it should go feral after ramming us. Come on, turn. A little bit of a Hellfire Beam shot, and I do want to see this happen. Before you mutiny. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So close. Get there. Alright, that should hit it. And you're in feral now. You're turning. You need to turn. You can switch to lock on. You. I think you need to start turning as well. Alright, you are going to be a number 4 target. You're going to be a number 4 target. Oh, damn, it's so slow. I was wondering what the hell was going on. Your number 1 target. Number 2 target. Alright, try to ram this other ship. Brace. Hurt it enough so it goes feral. No, you're out. You are out of the picture. Oh, man. Yeah, this did not go our way. Really, really needed that, really needed those Hellfire Beams. This would have been an easy win with the Hellfire Beams, you gotta admit, though. Alright, hit it with the Hellfire Beam. Come on, come on, come on. Is it gonna be able to Adrenal Gland and ram us? Maybe. You brace, repair. And turn, turn. You have a nearly full... thing. It's gone feral. We've done it. We've done it. It was a close one, I will admit. We did have another charge of Hellfire Beam that was at like 75% capacity, and we still managed to pull it off, which I think is pretty good against the powerful Tyranids, who were the worst matchup for us, and without the Hellfire Beams on top of that. And look at that Stasis Bomb coming up as well. So I think that goes to show that these ships are nonetheless pretty powerful. We did definitely get value out of those light macro cannons on our broadsides, despite the fact that we were supposed to be focused on the on the prow weaponry, which, to be fair, we had to, because without the asteroids, we were really in a bad way. So I think a pretty good final showing for this ship. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm a little bit sad I didn't get to play around with this ship in the campaign, because it would have been nice to be able to kill enemy Titans, and I think that last battle really showed when you have a primary target, when you want to strike a decisive blow against the enemy fleet, you can move these ships forward and rely on them to do that, especially against the Tyranids. That was really telling once their admiral ship went down. Don't know what we're going to do next time. It'll probably be, I want to say, the Corsairs. I think there was a new ship for the Corsairs. We'll take a look, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.